You came across this question in your Jamb exam. How will you solve it? It is very easy. Now let's solve together. The question says, all right, it says from the above, all right, from the above informations, listen carefully. Which of the following pairs is likely to be paramagnetic? Before we actually, start choosing the answer to this question, it is important for us to understand the question properly. If you observe, they gave us different elements, all right? Roman figure 1 is hydrogen, and all of these you are seeing, they are called electronic configuration. Listen carefully. Now, we are given the electronic configuration of these elements. They made things easy for us. These elements include hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and zinc. So they're not asking us, looking at all of these elements, all right, determine the ones that are paramagnetic. So the first question you ask yourself, what does it mean for an element to be paramagnetic? It's very simple. As we are having paramagnetic, so we are also having diamagnetic. But it's important first I explain to you what paramagnetism is. Now, this is the tendency of a particular element to have what we call unpaired electrons. This thing is very simple. So determine if an element has unpaired electrons. Thank God in this question, they've given us the electronic configuration already. Because if we're not given, we have to look for the electronic configuration for all of them and then determine which one has unpaired electrons. So since already they've given us the electronic configuration of these elements, the next thing to do is simply to look at the last orbitals of these elements electronic configuration. Listen carefully. You know, in chemistry we have different orbitals which ranges from the s orbital, the p orbital, the d orbital, the f orbital. So basically you look at the last orbital for each of the elements electronic configuration. And for hydrogen, this is the last orbital. Basically it's only the orbital they wrote for, all right, which is the one s1 orbital. Follow instructions. All these things are very simple. Moving further, for nitrogen, where is the last orbital? The 2p3 is the last orbital. You can see I've highlighted them. Remember, you have to, highlight the last orbitals. All right, for oxygen, where is the last orbital? The 2p4 orbital as well. Whereby for zinc, where is the last orbital? The 3d10 orbital. You can see I've determined all of the last orbitals of these elements. Moving further, there is something I have to tell you. And after saying what I'm about telling you, I'm going to give you a video lesson on my channel to watch how that was determined. Because this question relates atomic structure and a concept in chemistry called quantum numbers. So it's important for you to watch my full video lessons on quantum numbers to explain perfectly all of these things. I already have full video lessons on this aspect. All right, so all of these orbitals, I'm going to write them down. So the first one is the s orbital, the next is the p, the d, and the f orbital. When we have all of these orbitals, we have specific number of boxes we draw for these orbitals. And my video lesson on quantum number, I've explained how those boxes was gotten. Just note this: for the s orbital, we draw one box. Listen carefully. For the p orbital, we draw 3 boxes. Are you following me? For the d orbital, we draw 5 boxes. Just follow instructions. 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Are you there? For the f orbital, we draw 7 boxes. All right. So it includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you count them, they are 7. All right. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see I've drawn all the boxes, but there are reasons to how these boxes was determined. That is why it's important for you to watch my full video lesson on quantum numbers. Are you there? So basically, moving further, the question asks me, what do we put inside these boxes? What we impute inside these boxes are called electrons. So first of all, to get the answer to this question, but remember I told you that when an element is paramagnetic, listen carefully, it means that that element has unpaired electrons. So listen, remember I said that all of these boxes will put electrons. So let's check for the first element, which is hydrogen. And if you check the electronic configuration, it is 1s1 orbital. So all of these numbers at the top tells us the electrons. So for hydrogen, we just have 1 electrons. All right, listen carefully. And this electron is in what orbital? The s orbital. Then we come here. Listen carefully. So based on the information 1s1 orbital, and another thing you should know, each of these boxes occupies a maximum number of 2 electrons. So since we're having 1s1 orbital, definitely I'm going to draw it in the s orbital. So here we put just 1 electron. And remember I said that it should have 2 electrons maximum for one box. So from this information, in hydrogen, do you think it has unpaired electron? Yes, it has, because definitely this one electron should be paired normally, but in this case, in the case of hydrogen, it is unpaired. Hence, hydrogen is going to be paramagnetic. P, I will denote it with that, because we've seen that hydrogen, because of its electronic configuration to be 1s1, we've actually filled the electron inside the s orbital. It is just 1. Hence, it tells us that hydrogen is actually paramagnetic because it needs just 1 electron to be complete. So in this case, hydrogen is unpaired. Hence, hydrogen should be paramagnetic. Are you there? So let's check for the next element, which is nitrogen. You remember to take note of the last orbital, and in this case it is the 2p3 orbital. You can see it here. So what do? We come to the p orbital. All right, 2p3 orbital. Remember, all of these numbers up there, the electrons, so we fill it. So after the electrons, you fill it. And listen carefully. There is a rule that explains to us how to fill electrons in orbitals. So if you observe now, you can see from p orbital down to f orbital, we have more than 1 boxes. Actually, that rule is called Horn's rule. It states that electrons should be filled singly first before you start pairing. So I'm going to fill them singly first. So 1 electron, another electron, and another electron. You can see all the 3 electrons filled, and we are done with nitrogen because it's just 2p3 orbital that ended the electronic configuration of nitrogen. So from this information, is nitrogen unpaired? Yes, it is, because normally if I'm to complete it, then it's going to be paired. So in this case, nitrogen has unpaired electrons. Look at the electrons that are unpaired. Hence, nitrogen is also paramagnetic. Moving further, let's check for oxygen. All right, you can see oxygen ended with 2p4. So this, I'm going to just change and put 4, and then you can see we have 4 electrons. Normally, because we did for nitrogen, then we have to complete it, because here is 4. You know, I told you few singly paired before it start pairing. So that 1 electron should be here. Do you understand? The 1 electron remaining, because now for oxygen it is 4 electrons. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand? So doing this still, oxygen still had unpaired electrons. So it doesn't really matter. Do you understand? All that matters here is that there is unpaired. Even if it's 1 unpaired, there is still unpaired. So oxygen is still what? Unpaired. So it's still paramagnetic as well. Moving over to the last element, which is zinc, and it ended with the 3d. So we'll come here, 3d what? 10. Remember, we have to fill singly for start pairing. I will focus on the 10 electrons. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And we don't know based on the 10. Continue. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. Zinc does not have any unpaired electron. Hence, zinc is not paramagnetic, but rather zinc is what we call diamagnetic. D. Zinc is diamagnetic. Are you there? Listen carefully, because the tendency of elements to have paired electron is diamagnetism, but unpaired is called paramagnetism. But when a special type of element have numbers of unpaired electrons, specifically transition metal, normally we should call them paramagnetism, but since it's for transition metals, we call them ferromagnetism. Are you there? Listen carefully. Moving further, you can see for us to choose the answer to this question, the answer becomes option A, because Roman figure 1, Roman figure 2, Roman figure 3, they all had unpaired electrons. Hence, they are the options that are paramagnetic. It can be option B, because option B is 1, 2, and 4. Do you understand? Whereby zinc was not what? Paramagnetic. So all this must be noted. Get ready for your own practice question.
To have more understanding about chemistry calculations and solving all of these type of questions, I already have them on the chemistry masterpiece, okay, which is calculations and keynotes in chemistry. So if you are preparing to write the Jamb exam, this book is very, very important for you. Now, for more information getting the chemistry masterpiece, do well to direct message me via my WhatsApp number. It will be on the screen.
Okay, guys, here is your own practice question. So you solve and provide the answer in the comment section. So what you have to do for me, you can see various elements, electronic configuration. You will determine, definitely all of them has unpaired electrons. So you tell me the number of unpaired electrons. Like for this option A, which basically you can see that, I told you to determine number of unpaired electron in any element. You look at the last orbital, and in this case the p orbital. Then remember that for the p orbital we draw 3 boxes, all right, and you count the electron here. So if you observe, just 1 electron was here, so it's going to be 1 electron. So how many electrons were unpaired? So basically you can see that it's just 1 electron that was unpaired. Listen, no, don't go and count the empty space to be unpaired electron. There's no electron here. Are you there? This is the only electron that was unpaired. So in this case, the answer to this question will be 1 unpaired electron. So you saw for B, you can see that B ended with 2p5. Then you fill them. I told you fill singly first. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Do you understand? 4, 5. So you now tell me the number of unpaired. I don't want to say much, so I don't tell you the answers to the questions. All right. So I just did all of these things to make sure that you'll be able to solve the question without stress. All right. So we'll come to the end of this lesson. If you find my video lesson helpful, make sure you click on the subscribe button to my channel and also share my lessons with friends. Thanks for watching.